Hi, I'm Doyle with Southern Paranormal. I'm here with Keith Ramsey. You probably know him from Deep South Paranormal from his sci-fi TV show. He's also co-founder of Guardians of the Veil Paranormal. We're here at South Pittsburg Hospital in South Pittsburg, Tennessee. We're here to investigate the claims in this location, and they are many, let me tell you. Keith has been here probably how many times have you investigated?
Several, Bill. Maybe 6, 8, 9.
Plenty of times.
Plenty, yeah.
You had any experiences here?
Plenty.
Plenty.
Yeah.
And just when we were setting up today, Keith actually saw some shadow figures down at the end of this hallway where we're standing. You've also had, let's see, what are some of the other claims? There's one thing that I heard that we have read about a naughty nurse in the basement. Have you heard about that one?
Okay, yeah, I've heard her called that, yeah.
That she approaches visitors, touches inappropriately, whispers in their ear, and things like that. That's also where the janitor's been seen, right?
Yes,
And
that's what
hear the keys jingling and that type things. But
and one time I was down there, objects move.
actually, y'all actually had objects move on you.
Yes, and one room in the basement, yes.
Oh, awesome. There's also, from what we've been told, in the nursery, there's reports of hearing babies crying in the nursery. And I hear there's room 308. Now, I forgot exactly what happened in there. Are you familiar with that one?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what happened?
Okay. 308's actually the room I was in with some other folks back a few years ago and captured one of the best EVPs I've ever heard on any investigations I've been on.
What did it say?
It was a colored lady. Said, thank God, it's got me so scared, I'm so scared. Now, what that means, who knows?
It's anybody's guess.
Yeah, right. But there was actually a female present. One of the other guys' wives was with us that night. And I was on this side of the entrance of the doorway. She was right across from me, just 3 feet maybe. And one of the other guys was in this far corner. The other guy in this far corner had 3 voice recorders going with them 3. And the EVP captured from the far corners were more distant,
So
more you had to really listen
proximity
to. But the recorder the female was handling, she actually felt, she was another sensitive. She actually stated that she had just felt someone lean up against her on her left side.
Now, a sensitive you're talking about, is that more like a medium or psychic type, or, you can explain to the audience?
More of empath, sensitive, more
Pick up on the feelings.
Feelings, contact, a lot of things seem to be drawn more to a sensitive, which I've experienced on several investigations, being the only sensitive in the group at times. Get a lot of activity drawn toward me being a sensitive, an empath. A lot of sick feelings, pains in certain areas. Come to find out later, that's where somebody on the location had been shot or stabbed, or pain to the stomach, maybe they died of stomach cancer, and so on and so on.
We've also heard that the 3rd story in the building is supposed to be one of the most active. We heard a story, I think the name was Hazel, or I believe, that she was admitted into the hospital just for psychiatric evaluation, and she actually died 3 days later from complications. And that we heard that she was one of them that haunts the 3rd story. And I don't know if you've heard that one or not. We read that one. We didn't actually speak with anyone.
I haven't actually
You hadn't heard anything about that name?
I'm trying to remember the names right off.
Now there's always going to be this question, what about dark presence in the hospital?
Yes, I have felt some dark presence in this building. And to add to that, the same night we captured the EVP I just told you about, we was going into the oldest area of the hospital I showed you earlier. And there were 4 of us, again. Before we entered through the doorway of the oldest part of the hospital, we all felt a drastic drop in temperature.
Right.
We all stopped together, and that's when I stated, "Hey, go ahead and roll the recorder before we even go in here. Just walking through before we get to the location where we're going to do our EVP session. Go ahead and roll it." We don't get maybe another 30, 40 feet, and it's coming up on the pharmacy area I showed you. Before you make that turn into the pharmacy, the same girl that felt the presence up against her and captured the black lady,
Yeah.
which that she had it the loudest on her recorder. You could tell she's right
Where,
at
look
it.
at where it came from. Yeah.
But before we turn the corner into the pharmacy, she stops and says, "My back's burning." Okay, we all stop, raise her shirt up, and she has a claw mark about 3 inches long
Wow.
on her back. Yeah, she states that her back is burning. We see a claw mark about 3 inches long. And when we went back and looked at all our evidence, we found that on the recording
All right.
that right before she stated her back was burning, we got a male voice that says, "You're just a bitch."
Wow.
She
Where was that?
physically-
That was by the pharmacy or near the pharmacy down
right
the way,
before you
right?
get to it. Yep.
All right.
Entering the oldest part.
I'd like to go and show the viewers the other part that I've heard about is the operating room. I'd like to go there and let them see the operating room because there's been reports in there as well. You know, from what we've read, again, we've not been here like you have, but we've read that there's a doctor that will, it's not a dark figure or anything like that, but is kind of a mean-spirited entity that hangs out in that location. So let's go see if we can find it. If you can show us the way to it.
Will do.
All right, man.
I know
Yeah.
right where it is.
I was going to show you the operating room, but we came by, we found the nursery first. In this room, there's been reports of hearing babies crying. I think that the tour guide told us that they heard it audibly one time, very, very loud.
And we had just rounded the corner to go down where the nursery is, and audibly we heard like 3 or 4 babies cry. And I'm like, well, nursery's busy tonight. I said, I'm not working, I'm going home. So, but it went on for just a few seconds, and then that was it. That's all we heard up there that night. But you don't really need any equipment here. You can hear things audibly.
We're probably going to play some of our remote audio in here, probably some video. Did y'all ever capture anything in here, Keith?
Yes. This is, we actually had a toy in here. I was actually looking to see if it was still around. That you turn to the animal sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I had one when I was a kid. You remember
pull the
that?
string on it?
Pull the string.
Yes.
Okay. Doing the cow, doing the horse, the dog. Well, a partner I was working along with that night asked if they like dogs or if they ever had a dog. He captured a EVP of a child saying, "No, but so-and-so does. I can't remember the name, like Joe or Bob, or might have been a boy named Sue. I can't remember. But said, so-and-so does."
And that was captured right here in this room,
Yes.
right where we're standing.
Yes.
Uh,
And also it's it was kind of, I wasn't getting much of a feeling at all this other time.
Mhm.
We'd been in here maybe a couple of hours and wasn't really picking up on anything, didn't seem real active that night for that short little time. and I got the guitar out. This is the very first time I ever used music on Investigation. It was right outside this window.
You brought your guitar tonight, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I don't leave
We'll
home
have to
without it.
try that out again.
I don't leave home without it.
So, I mean, yeah, we could definitely try that and see if we can maybe stir up something like y'all did that time.
Hey Joe, sit where you go with that gun in your hand. Well, hey Joe, sit where you go with that gun in your hand.
Did y'all try it in any other rooms or anything, or?
Yeah,
was this only one
from
you
that
tried?
point, we've tried it here and
After-
there all through the building, because after I used it for the first time right outside this window, the activity started coming.
Picking up, and then
Yeah,
it's time to put it in high gear then. And,
yeah. We had a busy night after that. So.
Well, we'll have to do that and everything, and well, you probably got a few
That
more
was-
cameras. You hear something?
I may have just heard a laugh while you were talking.
We have a recorder
So-
running, so.
Yeah, so that if that's what I heard, you may have a laugh.
I don't even know what I was saying here. But it sounds like it may be a wild night, folks. We're going to go live here too. I think we got enough signal that we can get out with Periscope. And if y'all have watched us on Periscope, you know, you're able to interact with us, talk to us. We have done many investigations, and there's been people that's came on, viewers, Keith, that have heard things that we have not heard. They will comment on it, tell us, you know, we just heard this, like the laugh or something like that. They may hear that, we don't.
Right.
We encourage them to, you know, talk to us, tell us, you know, interact with us. Last time at the Florence house, we had over 1,100 viewers come on and watch us live. So, you know, we encourage y'all to always come on. You can go to our website and like us on, join our Facebook group actually, or go to our website, which is southernparanormalms.com, and you can keep up with what we're doing. Go to our Twitter page, subscribe to it, and you'll be notified instantly when we go live on Periscope, or get the Periscope app for your phone and follow us. You can also watch it on your computer as well. You don't have to just do it on the cell phone or with the app. So I don't know if you've ever used it or not, but it's interesting. I think you'll find it fun to talk with the viewers and everything. So we're fixing to see y'all in a few weeks. Mendon's in the ICU right now. One other thing that we wanted to tell y'all about was something strange that's been happening the last few investigations that we've had. We've been picking up a name of John or Johnny on, it was at the Coulter house over and over again. We didn't mention, we didn't think there was any relevance to it. Then we went to the Florence house and we started getting the same name again. We asked for a last name this time and it gave us Castle, Johnny Castle. And we dug into the history just a little bit more. We found there was a Johnny Castle that died in 1947. Guess where at? In South Pittsburg, Tennessee, near this hospital. He's buried not far from here. As we were searching and looking around, just doing kind of a baseline reading, we came across, actually Rebecca came across this, and it's a Jimmy Castle. Very, very close to it. I don't know. I mean, it just sounds like a big coincidence. I mean, what does it to you?
Yeah, I mean, we could get the same name on several different locations, and then, you know, even with another obulus, you know, Doyle had just purchased a new obulus, obulus 5, and the 6th word that came out of it was Johnny. And then we did it, like I said, we did that research and all, Tammy did, and I found out that he actually died in this hospital. And it's just one of those weird things that we just going through our setup and everything, getting ready for lights out, and come across
We come across
a folder
a
with
folder.
Jimmy Castle.
Like I said, it has Jimmy Castle. I mean, very close to Johnny. You know, it's possible that that was where this formed. I mean, could he be reaching out, you know, to us, you know, knew that we was coming this way, and, you know, seeing, maybe he's got a story to tell. We're going to see tonight if we can contact him or the Jimmy Castle, whichever it may be, Johnny or Jimmy, and just see if there's anything to it, you know. Y'all stay tuned. It'll be interesting anyway.
One of the times I was here back that way,
Yeah.
I was given a name, I'm right here. And once I came back the next time, I mentioned that, and that's when I found out that there was a Betty nurse that died.
That's true, that's very much true.
But they never found out the last name.
No, I didn't even think to ask when he was here, but the maintenance man who worked here from 1981 until Doc actually got the property, he's the one that actually handed him the keys, he's a friend of mine. But he was the maintenance man here, his name's Art Roper. His name's all over stuff downstairs in that maintenance office. But we got him to come up here one day with a camera, and I said, all right, I am so tired of dispelling rumors. I said, give me the complete story of what was what, when it was what, how long it was what, and are all these stories true about these people? And he did substantiate some, and some he couldn't because he didn't know either. The one about Nellie is true, but she did not die on the 3rd floor. She died somewhere here on the 2nd floor. He couldn't remember the room number, but she was a real patient here. The little boy with the snake bites, that was true. He died in the emergency room. They didn't get him here in time. Or they got him here, but there's nothing they could do. This floor, before the 3rd floor was built, housed labor, delivery, and surgery. And if you look down here where the, what do you call it? Fuse box is, electrical box. That whole wall down there that's written on right there, behind that wall is the original newborn nursery windows before the 3rd floor was built. And across the hall, the lab, which everybody knows now is the lab, used to be surgery, labor, and delivery. And these were waiting rooms. There were waiting rooms for labor and delivery, and for nuclear medicine, and for stress tests. This room right here was the original chapel. The pews downstairs, no, the room downstairs with all the pews in it, I mean, think about this. I guess maybe because I'm in medicine, I mean, it just struck me right off the bat, that can't be true. Was medical records. The general public was never allowed back there, so how are they going to get down to a chapel? I mean, think about it. But what happened was, one of the local churches bought new pews, and they asked Doc if they could store them here, and they never come back to get them, and they never sold them. So that's how they got there.
The name I was given back here, I mean, if y'all can ever find any records on with the nurse's name on it, it was either the last name Patches or Pages.
And make sure that all the cabinets are locked.
Betty I heard Betty Patches.
Patches.
Or Pages.
Patches.
Those
That, no, that could be.
back, you have to flip them
That could very well be.
Right.
There's a approved head of maintenance over there. They left the drug and alcohol unit here, A&D, because their unit wasn't finished yet, hence the psych ward. So they were here for about 18 months until they finished their thing. The elevators worked from the ground floor, from the main lobby, up to the 3rd floor. It wouldn't stop here because there was nobody here. Our hospital was closed. So you had doctors and nurses and family members coming in and out of there. Yes, I believe they had experiences. I believe they saw stuff, had stuff happen to them, but also remember, you're detoxing. So how much of what is really true? That we will never know. So, but that's why it got dubbed the psych ward. But if you think about it, surgery's up there. Do you want to be down here on this floor if something goes wrong? And you got to wait on an elevator to go up to an operating suite? You want to be up there close to them. So you just, rationally think about how hospitals work. Now, in some hospitals, the bigger hospitals, that is the case. But they usually have elevators just for the staff and just for those reasons. But that's the only two they had here. So, and pediatrics was up there. Labor and delivery was up there. Postpartum was up there. They used one of the rooms for the jail if they needed to bring somebody from the jail. So, all those pieces together just kind of blows everything they told you up out of the water. And I've been in this hospital when it was working. In fact, I worked in the emergency room one night back there with one of the ER docs that brings her kids into the office that I work in, because I'm still working in pediatrics in Jasper. So there was and stuff was going on here then. Nobody just wanted to talk about it.
Since we moved over here talking and was talking
You done
about
seen
that
stuff
area,
move down there?
There's a couple shadow figures
Yeah,
already.
well, the whistler's back.
Yeah, down by
Got the
that
camera
window.
going out of the way.
You got the
Yeah,
camera.
last night we heard growls, we heard scratching in the walls. we've heard a lot, and I'm like, if you're hearing this audibly, y'all gonna have a real good night. So, and about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was doing a tour and I was up on the 3rd floor. And we had just rounded the corner to go down where the nursery is, and audibly we heard like 3 or 4 babies cry. And I'm like, well, nursery's busy tonight. I said, I'm not working, I'm going home. So, but it went on for just a few seconds, and then that was it. That's all we heard up there that night. But you don't really need any equipment. You can hear things audibly. And
Yeah.
New Year's Eve of last year, I don't know what happened. I stayed the whole night with them. We had New Year's Eve party and all that stuff, but there was no seances, there was none of that going on. But I'm telling you, that night, this place kicked up to what it is now. And it has gotten more and more and more active. And it's everywhere. It's 24/7. And sometimes it's worse in the day than it is at night.